I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 83, Runaway Thoughts. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey, everybody. I'm here with episode number 83 today. I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm going to cover a topic that I have had several requests for. I've had several people ask me what to do with runaway thoughts. So that is what we are going to cover today. Before I dive in, I want to just remind you that next week, I am opening the doors for a program that I am launching for the very first time. It's No Win 90. It's a 90-day program where you will go all in on committing one way or another if you're staying or going, and having a clear blueprint of how you're going to show up in that space, whether you're staying or going, that will get you what you want, that will take you to where you want to be, whether you stay or go. I want to just say too, that this also applies to people who have had the decision made for them. Maybe your spouse left, or people who have already decided, but question your decision constantly. This applies to you too. I promise. Okay. So if you're interested, go to the show notes, click on the link. You can go ahead and schedule a call with me. I'm doing tons of calls in the next couple of weeks to go over questions to make sure it's a perfect fit for you. You can come speak to me and we'll get you set up. Okay, so let's go. Runaway thoughts. You probably know without me even explaining what I'm talking about, right? It feels obsessive. You want the details. You can't stop thinking about the details. You wake up in the middle of the night obsessing about them. It's quite disturbing. You wonder if you'll ever feel normal again. You start making progress, have a disturbing thought or image, and bam, right back at the beginning. You go, all right, so it seems, with that acute, searing pain that you wonder if you're ever going to stop feeling. You can't help but ruminate and go round and round and round about every detail. Do you know this? Sometimes it looks like having to go through and seeing every single text, every image, right? Now, this is normal, but there are things you can do about it, and that's what we'll cover today. First, let's talk about why it's normal. So we have our primal brains that you hear me talk about a lot, which will do anything to keep us safe. That is why we are still alive, is because our brains have built-in mechanisms to keep us safe. So if our brains suspect that there's something that's hurtful or harmful to us, what's it going to do? It's going to do everything it can to keep us from getting re-injured, right? It's going to steer us far away from things that might hurt us. Our brains also are programmed and wired to want answers. We want to find meaning. We want to make sense of what happened, and it just doesn't make sense. We want to make 1 + 1 = 2. So we keep asking questions, repeating scenarios in our mind, scenes in our mind, thinking maybe this will make 2, but you can't get that 1 + 1 = 2, no matter which way you slice it. Okay. You think maybe you'll hear something that will put it all together, or that you'll think about it enough and then you'll finally understand it. But sometimes the pursuit of it making sense can backfire. You might ask for specific details. He then gives them to you, and then it stings even more. There are some answers to things that, while true, will not be useful to you in your pursuit of healing. You think that if you look at every email, every text, every picture, every exchange, all the explicit details that it will help you piece things together, but in reality, it just pierces you even more. Our brain wants it to seem very urgent to have every explicit detail, but it just is not true. Having every single detail can be what you've heard me say as the death of 1,000 paper cuts. I've heard infidelity referred to in that way. And a lot of what makes it that is all of these little details that we think seem important, but just wound us even more. This is where we punish ourselves over and over unnecessarily. Okay. So, when is it useful? When is it necessary to go digging, to ask more questions? I'll tell you. Number one, if there are holes in the story and you know it. Okay. If it doesn't add up, and by adding up, I'm not talking about understanding the overall why, the overall, how could you, those things. I'm talking about details. I'm talking about specific details. Like, you said this, but there's no way that this could have happened because of this. Okay. When you know that it's not quite lining up, or when you know that the story has changed a bit over time from the initial disclosure, and you recognize that either big chunks are missing or that details keep changing, that would be a time where more questions would be useful. Number two, there are still lots of secrets, like not telling you who it is, if they ended it. Vague answers like, yes, I ended it, but not telling you exactly when and how and what you will do if the affair partner reaches back out. How will you handle that? Things like this need to be discussed. Another example of secrets is if the person who betrayed says, I'm not going to tell you this detail because it doesn't matter. I don't have to tell you. Okay, they do not get to set the terms for what matters to hear. For a relationship to heal, full disclosure means full disclosure. If you are getting any less than that, you are wise to dig deeper. But this comes from a wise place, not a panic place. And full disclosure does not mean every nitty-gritty detail of where and when and what time and how many times, okay? Full disclosure means the overall, this is who the person is, these are the details of what happened, this is when I ended it, this is how I ended it, that's what disclosure is, okay? Every single detail is not necessary. Number three, the partner who cheated becomes emotionally distant or apathetic toward you or about the work required to heal and rebuild the relationship. He stops seeking out help. He avoids conversations with you about infidelity or avoids conversations, period. These three things can tip you off that the betrayed partner is maybe not all in on rebuilding, or that there's something blocking them from telling the truth. And these are things you want to lean into. Okay. If you want to heal a relationship, these things have to be leaned into. Even if you decide that you're going to leave your relationship, if you want to know more, if you want for your own mind to understand things a little bit better, those are the things to lean into. Okay. Not knowing those things and seeing the holes in the story and seeing how the story has changed can keep the betrayed partner in a very high state of anxiety. You know something's off and you don't feel safe to relax into the relationship. Okay. Sometimes you'll ask the obsessive questions just as a way to connect to your partner, to feel something from them, to feel less alone, to feel seen, anything, right? But this kind of connection rarely helps. It often makes a wedge and makes things worse. Because if you're coming into a conversation with obsessive questions, it often has the tone of accusatory or demanding or desperate. And these things will not open up a conversation to really getting to the nitty gritty, the details that need to be shared that will actually help you move forward. Okay. It might feel good to have your partner there and comforting you, but the obsessive questions and the answers to them will not always have the desired effect that you're hoping for. Okay. There are ways to connect with your partner, to reach them, to connect them that don't involve diving into these obsessive questions, these things, these I need to know questions. Okay. So, what does help? Number one, leaning on your partner. Let him bear witness to your pain. So it's quite a paradox that is not lost on me that the person that betrayed your trust most really is in a position to help you heal. Okay. This can come by listening, taking full ownership, sitting with you when you're having strong emotions, answering questions, not getting defensive, reassuring you of their love and commitment to fix things. That same person that betrayed your trust in the first place can often be the one that helps you heal the most, the one that sees you the most. Let that person see you. Let them feel your pain. Let them see your pain. Let them witness that you have been hurt. Let them see you cry. If this person is not willing, tell someone that you trust and share your pain with them. Do not do this alone. Hire a coach or therapist. Let someone sit with you. Let someone be with you. Number two, learn to distinguish runaway thoughts from helpful inquiries. Being onto yourself. Okay. It will feel different in your body. This is what runaway thoughts feel like. You know what? I know really well because I've spent plenty of time hanging out with runaway thoughts. Okay. I know what they feel like. They feel panicked. You need an answer now. Now. This is when you wake up at 2 a.m. and you start looking for Instagram posts or podcasts or books or magazine articles or anything at all, because you need to know now. You go become a sleuth of the interwebs looking for answers. Okay. You call your best friend in a panic. You start looking through their phone in the middle of the night, knowing that there must be something there that you need to see. Okay. These are runaway thoughts. Helpful inquiries feel different. It comes from a place of wisdom. It comes from a place of calm. Is it comfortable? No, it's not comfortable. None of this is comfortable. But it's coming from a place of calm. Like, this is something I need to know. This is something that does not feel right to me. It feels different. It's calm. Okay. Number three, set boundaries around runaway obsessive thoughts. Okay. So I'm going to step back to number two a little bit, learning to distinguish runaway thoughts from helpful inquiries. Okay. So if you're thinking about a puppy, I think of puppies as like really hyper, really yappy. They want so much attention, all the attention, all the time, right? It's very important that they get attention. They're like jumping all over you, wanting to get you to come play, right? Peeing all over the place, making a mess, not trained, right? I think about the kind of thoughts that create helpful inquiries, not like a puppy. I think of it as a calm, mature dog, okay? Not a puppy, a very mature voice. So this is what you can do with that puppy. You can lovingly recognize it. This is my puppy brain. Put it in a kennel. Put it outside. Okay. Remind yourself, remind the puppy that you'll come back. You can give it a timeout. Okay. You're quite literally training your puppy brain to behave. Like, to behave. Don't jump up on me. Okay. Don't bark at me. And it will seem very, very important. But learning to recognize it, to go, this is my puppy brain, and to nip it in the bud will help you so much in knowing what to do with it. Okay. When you start to feel that puppy brain, stop and breathe. It's going to make it seem very important that you do something immediately. Remember that right in this moment, you are safe. Remind yourself that it does not all need to be solved right now. It doesn't, I promise you. Number 4, enlist the help of others. Get support as much as you need. Okay, I want to touch on something here. For many people who are the ones who have betrayed their spouses, it can be really embarrassing. I get this. They don't want people to know what they've done. They don't want people to have a different opinion of them. But my friends, it's not your burden to bear. Okay? Secrecy is not your burden to bear. Privacy and secrecy are different things. Privacy is where you set boundaries for yourself around who you want to share with. You do not have to share with everybody. Okay? That's privacy. Privacy is a boundary. Secrecy comes more out of trying to control things. It's a secret, don't tell. And that puts the burden on you. It's not fair. You do need to talk about this. You do need support. You do need to share. You do need people who know that can lift you up and listen and help talk you off a ledge from time to time when that puppy brain is going crazy. Okay? It's helpful. It's important. Secrecy is not your burden to bear. Your spouse may say, don't tell anybody. That is not your burden to bear. Okay? When certain choices are made, a consequence is often that some people might know and that they might have thoughts about your partner. That is a consequence. That's not for you to control or manage. Okay? Privacy is for you to manage. Who do you feel like you want to tell? If you make sure it's not coming from a place of revenge or vengeance or some kind of vindictive type thing, share. Tell people. Tell the people that you trust. Yes, I do suggest being discerning. Yes. But don't feel like you have to carry it alone. Okay. That's what I have for you today. I hope that you have found this helpful. I hope that you practice some of these things. Okay. If you get lost in runaway thoughts, come back and listen to this one. Okay. Especially those questions at the beginning about when it is important to ask more questions. Again, all of this is normal. It really is. It's so normal to feel like you're making headway and then not so much. And our thoughts can go, oh my gosh, will I ever move past this? I thought that I was making progress and here I am right at the beginning. I promise this is normal. Healing is not linear. It is not linear. It feels more all over the place. It is not in a straight line. Okay? 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 5 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's more what it looks like. Okay? But let's get you out of pain. Let's stop prolonging your pain. Let's stop punching ourselves in the face, shall we? Let's stop giving ourselves paper cuts by obsessively needing to know every little thing. I promise you don't. Okay? There are some things that are best left unasked, unsaid, unknown. And these are the explicit things. These are going round and round with every detail and wanting to know exactly what things look like, and you're trying to picture things in your mind. One more thing I just want to throw in here is that sometimes when we try to picture things in our mind, we often make up a story that is worse than what actually happened. It's like if we don't have the answers or if we don't believe the answers, we come up with an answer because that's what our brain does. And it's often worse than what actually happened. Okay? Set those things down. Ask yourself, is this useful? Like, is this really useful? If it's not, let it go. Okay? All right, my friends, that's what I have for you today. I hope you find this helpful. If you have further questions, please email them to me. Okay? I keep a file of all of the requests that I get for podcast episodes. If I'm not covering something you want covered, shoot me an email. Okay? Andrea@AndreaGiles.com. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at AndreaGiles.com lies-about-infidelity /. Again, it's andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity /. I will see you next time.